For today's unboxing, I've got all 5 of these starter decks. They look great. They're honestly, I don't know why I was expecting them to be bigger. They're quite, like, they fit in my hand, so they're smaller than a lot of other packaging. Oh. Okay, sounds good, Alex. But yes, 5 starter decks here, got one of each. They're a bit smaller than I was expecting, fit in the palm of your hand. A lot of them, other decks for other games, are usually a bit bigger. But honestly, it's kind of refreshing almost to have them be a bit smaller here. Quite like it. Alright, let's just go in order. Centaurbor. Still, just how small this packaging is still astounds me. Delve into the heart of the Foloi forest where the Dryads hold court for Demeter, Queen of the Harvest. Only the bravest and most cunning can discover the mystic potential of the Centaurbor starter deck. With Tectoros, September, and Equalings as your guide, none can stand before your rock-solid resolve. Will the Scythe of Demeter carve your path to conquest? That's cool. Okay. Includes 60 cards. Entire Elestrals Founders Edition base set includes over 125. Okay, so just general stuff, and then information on the back as well as the elements. That's cool. I like that. Void Seal for the win. Yes. That's very clean. I like that dented. I forgot about the custom D20s. Oh, I love this. The color on this looks great. The symbol up top here for Earth. And then, of course, it's the spin down one. Pretty calm. That looks amazing. That's cool what's inside here. I almost want to take this apart to see because I see September, Sprouter, and Centaurbor in here. And you can see Centaurbor pretty clearly. Can you see? Yeah, you can see it. That's pretty cool. Alright, so we got our Centaurbor here. Looking mighty fine. Really cool card. The funny I think it's going to be a good top end for some Earth decks later on. I don't know if it'll be paired with, say, Timber, though, just because you can do a cool combo with, say, Timber, but I almost feel like you just plopping this down and being able to disenchant right away might be better. One of that, and nope, no Stellar Sprouter, at least I don't think. Nope, just the 3 regular Sprouters. 3 Sprouter, this is the first time feeling non-hollow card stock. It's a nice, I don't know what kind of finish to call it. It's the same as the back one, it's like matte finish, but then they're most like, I'm going to be playing them in sleeves, so it doesn't matter, but that feels nice. Very nice and thick. Good durability. 2 September, of course. The 2 Spineth with the 2 Spinosect. One of the other Star Deck exclusives, the Giraflora. Yeah, it's not there. 2 Equalings. I think this is a great card for the deck. 2 Tectoros. Only 1 Rummer Gem, but a nice consistency searcher. P-Gust to help the Rune Pop. Aeromare because it's just a good body. And also, fun thing with this one, here's where I say I wonder if it might just be better to ascend over something with Centaurbor, because if you have like an Aeromer and ascend over multiple stuff, you can then empower Centaurbor, and now it can't be target destroyed by your opponent's Elestral effects. So extra protection on top of from Invoke Runes. Doesn't really help against counter runes, which are the meta right now, but it's an idea. And then got Boombat here. 2 Boombats to help with Elestral destruction. I really like that. 2 Nectar of the Gods. 1 Ambrosia. 1 Circle of the Sky to move around spirits. 2 Demeter. It's not a Star Deck exclusive, but this is the best way to get base rarity stuff. Foloi Forest is nice. Scythe of Demeter. 2 Earthquake, really great card here. 2 Tornado to help with rune removal with the Thunderstorm, so some temporary ones. Good and cheap to go with, say, Timber, and then the Thunderstorm for more permanent. And then here's a big reason to buy the Star Deck. 2 Poison Tip Arrow. This is definitely going to be a highly meta card, so if you want your playset, pick up 2 of these starter decks or find someone to trade with. The main reason I wanted to pick up at least 2 of this one was for this Poison Tipped Arrow. And then, of course, we got our Spirits, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Paratlas, excuse me. 2, 4, 5 Lycris, and 3 Zaptor. And then a little just reminder card. So that's the Centaurbor starter deck. I actually think this is a phenomenal deck to get started with because you get a little bit of everything. You've got a cool combo with, say, Timber into Centaurbor. You've got deck thinning and specific cards such as Sprouter and Rummagem. You've got great rune removal in Equalinks, Big Beaters, and Tectoros. And then I even think these kind of round it off well. You've got Aeromare for some fun plays for Elestral protection. Got more Rune Destruction with P-Gust, Elestral Destruction with Boombat. You even got some recursion with Giraflora, wherever it is. And then I think Spineth and Spinosect are interesting cards to include. Interesting defensive utility cards, especially like Spinosect is just a big body to hit over. I actually think this will be really strong if you're just playing against the starter decks. And good slew of runes as well. The Demeters are great. Foloi Force is awesome. Scythe the Demeter just helps some recursion. And of course, you can't beat the Earthquake. These are amazing. So yeah, all in all, and the 2 points tip arrow is also nice. So I think this is a good one to learn if you just want to get a taste of all the different, a lot of the different facets of Elestrals. This deck has it, and you can play it more defensively, you can play it more tempo, just kind of get a feel for all sorts of stuff. So this one is definitely one I would highly recommend, especially new players pick up. So the little thing on this one says, kindle the flames of victory as you vanquish your foes in the heat of the Volcanic Forge with the Trifernal starter deck. Scorch the battlefield with Eruption and blazing casts of Elestrals, including Volcaries, Blazerus, and Flarachne. Do you have the courage to withstand the Inferno and claim the Hammer of Hephaestus? I forgot about the dice again, I'm going to be honest. That's a nice red-orange as well with the fire symbol. Love these little dice. See the Trifernal there? And then on the other side, there should be Blazerus and Necruff. These, I think, are a bit harder to see. Yeah, you can see those two well. Looks awesome. I'm waiting for this card to be used as like some kind of fun way to just lock your opponent out of playing stuff. It isn't there quite yet, but it's awesome. All right, let's see. Necruff? Nope, regular Necruff. That's fine. I would not want to waste my stellar luck on a Necruff when, personally, I would hope it would go to someone who is looking forward to that Necruff more than I would, since I would honestly just use these. So, of course, 3 Necruff, phenomenal aggressive Elestral, and honestly, I think it's even more flexible than just that. I could see it being a great control tool as well. 2 Blazers, a really cool aggro tool. I get the theory behind this deck. Go Blazerus, attack over 2 things, and then go into Trifernal, make it hard for your opponent to stick something. But I think half the time you're just better sticking on Blazerus and attacking twice turn after turn. Alright, 2 Wormite, another great card. Flarachne here for some more defensive plays. Imagine getting Flarachne and Trifernal out at the same time. Your opponent's just not doing anything. Star deck exclusive here, 2 Humbust. Feels a bit out of place in that deck because this deck isn't trying to go discard or mill focused, and I really feel like you have to go mill focused with this card, but it's nice to have here. 2 Kinleo, great removal. Volcaries, just like the Tectorus, is a great beater. Cinder to help with the mill. You'll definitely want to be maxing out your Humbust and Cinders. 2 Small Tuga to help you search out stuff. Veritalk would help with defensive stuff, and Spine Nymph for some more defense as well. 2 Nectars, 2 Ambrosias, that's nice for this deck, since it does not have the innate recovery that the Centaurbor deck had. 1 Circle, 2 Hephaestus, another reason to get these since only the full arts are in the main box. Then Volcanic Forge at 2, pretty much 2 of all these, Hammer, and then Eruption, great burn card. 1 Earthquake, great for some extra removal if you're just having a little trouble getting over something. And then 2 Gorgon's Gaze. I believe these are exclusives to these decks, and these are also crucial cards, so a great reason to get this card, or 2 of these decks as well to get the playset. 1 Tsunami as well, which isn't too bad. Then for the Spirit, I believe it should be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, and yep, 12 Fire, 2, 4, 5 Leviathan, so water, and then 3 Terratlas as well. A little card here. So overall, this deck honestly confuses me a little bit. It feels like it's a bit all over the place and not in a good way, kind of like how the Centaurbor deck was. You've got great offensive stuff like Necruff, Blazerus, Wormite, and then Kinleo and Volcaries. And Trifernal isn't even that bad either. But then you've got the super defensive tools like Flarachne, which I don't think is too bad. You just get ahead, set up Flarachne, your opponent struggles to catch up. But like Humbust feels out of place, Cinder's alright. Small Tuga's alright, and Veritalk I think also makes sense. It's a great way, but even the Spine Nymph feels a bit out of place. I guess just because your opponent hits over it, drops 0 attack over something. But I don't know about this one. If you really like Fire, this is definitely a good pickup for you just to try out a lot of the different stuff that Fire has access to, but in terms of some sort of coherency for the deck, this one I think is lacking a little bit. I think it's going to be more of a pain to play, especially since I feel like if you're going mill, you really have to commit to it. But that's just my personal take. I feel like one of each of the bears would have been a good include in it instead of the millers. Yeah, I do agree. What? Oh, is the Trifernal? Yeah, the Trifernal's foil Baron. Yeah, I agree, Wes, because then you get more of like a swarm strategy going in there. Yeah. Command the endless power of the ocean and sink your opponent to the bottom of the sea with water's might. From the depth. Sorry. Wow, I'm failing here. This is why I was a math major and not a English major or something. From the deepest depths, the Majesea star deck rises like a tsunami to crash against the competition. Rediscover the glory of Atlantis as you ride the waves alongside Krakatuga, Glabi, and Oystress. The trident of Poseidon is in your grasp. Can you conquer the tides? feel like here, Trident Poseidon is like a real, saying like, how do they phrase it? The Trident Poseidon is within your grasp. That's how it feels a lot like. Just find your Trident Poseidon. Is it in your grasp to set up so you can just shut down those counter runes? And I don't know if I'll remember the dice. I keep forgetting. That's a very nice blue little water symbol. I really like that. All right, you can see the Majesea back there with the Sluggle and the Globby. I wouldn't be mad to pull the full art in my boxes because it does look really nice. And let's see, moment of truth. Do I pull the Stellar Sluggle? Nope. Didn't expect to, but hey, I still got one more shot. So of course you get your 1 Majesea, your 3 Sluggles that recur spirits, Globby to help you ascend into Majesea. So it's really like you're running 3 Majesea. 2 Smoltuga, 2 Krakatuga, really cool card there. 2 Foamy, got my Foamy. I got my playset of Foamy, that's all I need. 2 Afros, great draw engine, and honestly I think you only need 2. 2 Oysters, a Star Deck exclusive, big wall. 1 Mustachian, which I actually think is perfectly fine, a good float just to get a big body. You can definitely run more, but I think 1 is fine. 2 Galaxy, definitely one you want to max out because it turns this deck's great defense into the perfect offense. I shouldn't say perfect, but a great offense. Warmite's also nice to help hit over stuff. And then 2 Pelacorius to help you search out some of your pieces. So this deck is definitely looking pretty consistent. 2 Nectars, 1 Ambrosia because you got the recovery, Circle of the Sky, 2 Poseidon, great for water, and crucial for turboing out Majesea, 2 Atlantis, 2 Trident, perfect to stop out the counter runes, 2 Tsunami, and 2 Eruption up with the Krakatuga, and some Rune Disruption and Tornado, and Shield of Achilles, great counter rune here. I'm assuming 12 Leviathan, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, yep, 5 by Pyro, yep, and 3 Lycoris. Great deck here, very defensive deck oriented. You got recovery, you got some big bodies, and of course Galaxy to help you switch them around and start using those big defenses to attack. You've got draw power with Afros. Of course, you've got some. If you really need to be more aggressive, you can use Wormite. You got Pelacorius to help search stuff out. And I actually do think that the Krakatuga and Majesea complement each other very well as 2 different top ends for the deck. Just because, I mean, they both have big bodies, but also you can start burning stuff and popping cards with Krakatuga, which is really, really strong, especially that 9 defense. So all in all, I feel like this is, if you like a slower strategy, more defensive strategy, and then, like, I think, what is the term? Mid-range. If you like more mid-range style, this deck is perfect for you because you've got some combo potential. You'll probably play very slowly at the beginning, but once you kind of get stuff ramped up, you're going to have a field day just throwing down a big Majesea, and the Krakatuga, of course, I mentioned before. And you've got also plenty of support cards as well. You also got Trident Lock, which is really strong. Eruption of Burns, Rune Control. And I feel like the biggest thing here is just the Rune Control. You either need to draw your Tornado or set up your Trident, but that's okay. And then, of course, Shield of Achilles and Tsunami are great. So this one's my personal favorite of the bunch. Or actually, that's a tough one. I don't know if it would be Centaurbor or Majesea, because Centaurbor, tempo playstyle, which Centaurbor does really well, kind of fits me a bit more, but I also love the intricacies of the Majesea. So I would say those 2 are my favorite decks. But let's move on. Let's get the Ohmperial one cracked open. Love how Ohmperial works. Unfortunately, I do think card-wise, Ohmperial is probably the weakest of the bunch. It's still a really cool card, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I think it might also be because it's the most straightforward. Thunder shakes the heavens and lightning splits the skies as an electrifying current strikes from the heights of Mount Olympus. Join forces with the almighty Zeus and shocking allies such as Riceros, Signetric, and Boombat to smite all who oppose you. Are you worthy to call upon the greatest gods and wield his thunderbolt? Oh, I love this dice going from the almost brown color to yellow. A little simple. I love these dice. Again, just the simple stuff like that just makes me so happy. So Ohmperial. Decent stat lines, gains attack for Thunder Spirits remaining in your Spirit deck, so you really want to have a high concentration, and expend 1 to target and destroy a card, which isn't too bad, but I don't know, just feels a bit underwhelming to me overall. But I think someone can make it work. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Nope, no Skin Duck. That's fine. So Crackle here has the same effect as Sluggle, but recovers Thunder Spirits. Alright, we got 3 Crackle here. Oh, 2 Signetric as well, helping you ascend into Ohmperial earlier in the game. 2 Toxeon, Star Deck exclusive, as well as the Galvanom here. These are really cool cards. I'll talk about them afterwards. 2 Riceros. I talked about that with the Prototype cards. 2 Sparkit, phenomenal card. If you open this turn 1 with a Zeus or anything you can Nexus off of, you're ripping a card out of your opponent's hand, and that hurts. 2 Astrabbit. got my playset, and actually Spark Hit here. Arguably the best Elestral in the game. Huge defense, lets you look at top 3 to add a card, really strong. 2 Jolt to help you find your stadiums, and 2 Boom Bat. Different artwork than the other deck that, I think it was the Centaurbor one that came with it. This one's really cute as well. And then 1 Spineth. Ooh, and 2 Wurt's Might here. Really wish Words was here. He would appreciate that. So yeah. Let's see, 2 Nectar of the Gods, 1 Ambrosia because we got the Quackle, 1 Circle of the Sky, 2 Zeus, very important for this deck, 2 Mount Olympus, 2 Thunderbolt of Zeus, 2 Thunderstorm to help with rune removal, 2 Earthquake, more control, 2 Shield of Achilles, a Pandora's Box. Wasn't in any of the other ones. I think this card, especially with the Divine Rune buff, could potentially see more play because of it. And then I'm assuming this one I think has more Zaptor. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. I mean, it had to actually. It had just 12. It would be impossible to use Signetrix effect because you need 12. So you have 15 there, 3 Teratlus, 2 Vipyro. So more of a pure deck, but Ohmperial is definitely looking to be played as pure. So this deck definitely just lets you play a big control strategy. Just a ton of good control cards, and that's honestly what Thunder does best. Those 1 spirits are huge for it. Or the 1 drops of Elestrals are great for control, and this deck I think exemplifies it very well. I think the only thing that might be a bit out of place kind of is the Signetric and Ohmperial, because you kind of want to turbo into it, but even then, like, Ohmperial and Quackle are great control cards in their own right. Toxion for some burn, Galvanom to pop 2 cards for expend 3 is really strong. Rice Rose on turn 1 is a great way to be able to ascend right into Galvanom or a Signetric. Spark Hit for some hand control, and also a pretty good attacker. Astrabbit for some value, Jolton for some value, Boombat, obviously Elestral control. Spineth, it does fit the theme of the deck. I definitely think it's probably the weakest card in here, but still nonetheless fits the theme. Wormite as a great way to attack over it. Again, fits the theme very well. Say Thunderbolt of Zeus, say it's probably like the weakest of the artifacts. I mean, the expend is pretty strong, but it comes with such high risk and you have to hit over it. I don't know if it's necessarily worth it, at least not yet. Alright, 2 Thunderstorms for some rune control. It's really good because I think that's kind of what this deck was lacking. Looking at all of it, Earthquake for some more Elestral control is great. Shield for some some battle tricks is great. So really strong control deck here. So I take it back. I think this one is just, from personal looking at it, is probably the least interesting, but after looking over it, this is a solid control deck. I actually think Thunderbolt is the best. I mean, I love the artwork for it. It's just the rune I'm least artifact rune I'm least impressed by right now. I'm going to be honest, but it looks sick. I hope it does see play at some point. So yeah, I think it was personal bias for my initial review of this one, but actually looking through this again, I actually think this one's really solid for its strategy. So I take back what I said earlier. All right, final one, Penterror here. One last chance, at least for tonight, for a Stellar. Oh, let's read it actually. And before I do this, let me actually show off the inside of the Ohmperial starter deck. Because didn't do that. So let's see. Got the Ohmperial here, huge. It's really hard to see if that is really cool. And then here, the Signetric and the Quackle should be easier to see because they're smaller. Let's go Stellar, right? Let's see. Can I get the Hydrake? Oh, I was going to read this one as well. From the howling gales and the darkening skies, a tempest emerges. Soar into the heart of the storm of the triumphant wings of Exaltair, Twindra, and Glidesteel, and blow away your rivals with the Penterror starter deck, who will throw caution to the wind and fly to new heights with Aeolus, ruler of the stratosphere. I think that's interesting. He points out Aeolus instead of the artifact. Really cool dice here. More lighter blue for it. 2 blue dice, which I will not oppose to. I love the color blue, and that looks great. And it definitely differentiates itself from water by being that lighter, more airy color than water, which I do appreciate. And then we got the Penterror in the box. That looks freaking amazing. And then we've got Twindra and Hydrake there as well. Very neat Ascension line. All right, let's see. So we got the big old Penterror here. Looks amazing. Get this as a box topper. It's definitely not hard to get. Real easy to get your playset of. Little nick up at the top of the card here is a bit unfortunate, I'll be honest. Not the end of the world, that's fine. And I'll be honest, I actually prefer this artwork. I think it looks great. The box topper does, technically Pen is in box topper. Well, for Kickstarter it is. Oh, duh. Okay, I understand now. Yes, technically Pent is not Star Deck exclusive because it's a box topper. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But past Kickstarter, it will be a starter deck exclusive for first wave. But yeah, I really like this artwork. I don't know what it is. I think just the framing of it just, I don't know, I like it a bit better. But let's see, final chance. Will I get the shiny dragon? And nope, regular. So no stellars for today. But that's fine. That means I'm saving my luck for next time. 3 Hydrate here, of course, 2 Twindra. I think that's perfectly fine. I mean, at most, I might want to run a second Penterror to go into, but definitely don't need it. Aeomare to help give some protection to the Elestrals. Glidesteel, of course, because when combined with Aeomare, it can attack twice. Then we got the 2 P-Gust. It's also real funny because of the delay, I'm just now seeing you all be like, please Stellar. But yeah. 2 Exaltair for some burn. Sorlet, a great battle trick Elestral for both offense and control. Astrap to help you find stuff. Boombat for some Elestral disruption. And of course, Elichick to find your Divine Runes because Aeolus is great. Veritaqua to also help against some defense Elestrals. Nog to help draw. 2 Ambrosia, which I think is actually really important in this deck because you do go through a lot of spirits. And Rest on Your Laurels. I believe this is Star Deck exclusive as well. This one isn't too relevant because Earthquake is just better right now. I mean, obviously, you've got the difference, this one costing less than Earthquake and being generic, but in terms of practical use, Earthquake is just better. Circle the Sky, 2 Aeolus. Powerful card, can be now enchanted up to 5 spirits with the current understanding. But yeah, Aeolus, great search card here. Island, Bag of Winds. Cool defensive counter rune, notably not needing Aeolus on board to protect against target protection against runes. That's, I think, would be very oh god, what's the word I'm looking for? Relevant in the future. Unfortunately, right now, because of Shielded isn't, but I do think, and pretty much all the counter runes can be timed before this one, but I think will be relevant in the future. Tornado for some rune control, Thunderstorm for some rune control, and then we got Tsunami for some Celestial control to pair with the Veritaqua, which is very nice. That was Veritaqua, right? Yes. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 Lycris, 2, 4, 5 Zaptor, and 3 Leviathan. But that is the Penterror Star Deck. I think from my thoughts for this one's a fun one. You got a lot of really cool moving pieces, such as the Penterror line, which is just super aggressive. I think Glidesteel is even cool. Even though I don't rate this one the most highly, I do think it's a fun card to use in the Star Deck, and Aeomare, obviously just a big body, and also kind of gives some protection, is very nice. Honestly, just going Aeomare, Glidesteel, equip Bag of Winds seems very strong. You're protected from Elestral effects, you're protected from targeted effects from runes such as Earthquake, and at this point, Shield is just your worst enemy. And you've got rune control for that as well. Like, you can just not attack until you find it. Then you got the 2 P-Gus, great rune control. Honestly, you got a fun little mini pack here with Exaltair to burn P-Gus to pop runes if need be. Don't think that would be too relevant, but it's a fun little note here. And also just a great way to end off games, since you can search this out with Aeolus. If your opponent, you just need to burn those extra 2 spirits to win, just search out Exaltair, Nexus onto it, and burn. Good to go. Sorlet's a phenomenal pull. This, I feel like the core here, it has some good control tools. They just feel more splashable. Like Thunder just feels like a good in-element control tools, and they also can be pretty splashable. Meanwhile, Wind just feels like the splashable package with Sorlet, Aeomare, and then, Sorlet, P-Gust, and Aeomare for the big bodies. And it works pretty well in this one. Astrap to help find cards is great. Boombat for Celestial control is also great. So you kind of see here you've got this control package with some big bodies. So you could really mess around with how you want to play it and just kind of take a downturn or just throw out threats, which I think is maybe not the best strategy if you're trying to play in like a tournament, but in terms of learning the game in the Star Deck, I think it's phenomenal. Like, I feel like where Trifernal is, I kind of explained as not a good mess of effects, I feel like this one is a positive mess of effects, even though it isn't as coherent as, say, maybe the Centaurbor deck. So, all in all, yeah, really great slew of stuff. Bag of Winds is really cool. I think the only thing I would love to see here is like Altar of Stars, because you can do a funny thing with Bag of Winds. If you want to maybe, actually, is it with Altar? I'm trying to remember. I did something with Bag of Winds that was kind of funny. I think it was with Altar, where I just switched something to attack, and then they hit their Elestral died, and I popped a rune with Bag of Winds. That was really funny. But yeah, that is, I think, about it. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything else. I look forward to streaming more in the future, and of course, just more content in general, because now that we have actual cards, definitely plenty more content coming out real soon.